Hello? Oh, it is.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Who?
Robin?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Carolee Toby, and with my partner here, John DeSima, we are Moose Charities, and we are going to give you some information this morning that you can take back to your lodges and chapters and help us out. Moose Charities, as a whole, needs some help. And Moose Charities is not John and I, it's not our table downstairs. Moose Charities isn't just this room, or those of us in this room, it's our whole association. We need support. When we signed up to become Moose members, we signed up to support Moose Heart and Moose Haven. And together we can do that, but we need help outside this room. We're all proud Moose members. You make it happen at your lodges, chapters, by volunteering your time, participating in the many activities and events that support the children at Moose Heart and the seniors at Moose Haven. And here's Johnny.
Thank you, Carolee. Good morning, my friends.
Good morning.
It's just like an AA meeting. So, twice a year, we have the Cradle or the Rocker Fund. And we all know what that is. The Cradle Fund is in October, the Rocker Fund is in February. And so the only reason this happens is because there's somebody in your lodge that has the rockers and the cradles and is selling them, and whatever donation is made, the name is put on it. We hope you can wallpaper your lodge with them. The thing is, so there has to be somebody to do that. Now, it mentions that there's a Moose Charities chairman in every lodge. No, there isn't. But we would like a Moose Charities helper. There's too many people that associate the name chairman and they shy back from it. We're not looking for a chairman. We're looking for a helper, somebody that can, okay, this is a letter we're giving to the district presidents. We're looking for a Moose Charities helper, nothing intimidating. We need a 10-minute-a-month volunteer to print posters that we, Carolee and I, will send to their email address to put up in their lodge or to bring up in a conversation or to put on Facebook or any other social media. A normal post, nothing special. We're looking for 10 minutes a month. We don't need the administrator or any of the other officers to have to do anymore. They got plenty of work to do. So we're looking for somebody that frequents the lodge and can give us their email. Well, we're going to need you guys to give us their email because we don't see them. You do. So each of the district presidents will have a copy of this letter, and we're hoping that somewhere in your lodge you will get somebody that will be able to help us. Like I said, it's any donation. Yeah, why not?
In case people don't know, if you don't get the rocker or cradle packages, you can always download them from the moosecharities.org website. If you go under volunteers, it lists the fundraising materials, and there is always a tab or an icon to download both the rocker packet and the cradle packet. So if you don't have somebody specific and you want to make sure that gets done, anybody can download those and print them off. Yeah.
So to let you know how we're doing, the association in October for the Cradle Fund raised $3,575.72. Thank you very much. We know that in this room we have main supporters of what Moose Charities does. So talking about the Cradle Rocker Fund, The total in 22, because we don't have all 23's numbers yet, not even all of February's, Michigan Moose did $6,885 in change. Of the 43 associations, the average was $7,029. Michigan is number 6 in census, in population among the state associations. So you might think that therefore we should be 6th in donations, which would have made it about 13,000. But I'm going to show you somehow during our presentation that things aren't always what they seem. The League of Guardians, I think everybody here knows what the League of Guardians is. It's a group of generous individuals that are able to give $1,000 or more annually. Now, there's more than one division in the League of Guardians. We have 29 guardians in Michigan. A guardian, League of Guardians guardian group will give between $1,000 and $1,500. A defender, next one up, will give between $1,500 and $2,500. A protector between $2,500 and $5,000, and a sentinel between $4,000 and $10,000. We have a sentinel giver in our. We have 2 protectors, 3 defenders, and 23 guardians. Thank you, sir.
That is amazing.
Yes. That is, yes, there you go. That is amazing. We're not going to ask them to stand up or to raise their hands. We know why they give it. They're giving from their heart, and we thank you, and you've made a wonderful donation that if more people could, they would, and we know that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this
Good
is,
thing you're here. So if you take the range, like 1,000 to 1,500, to the top range, 5,000 to 10,000, that's for our guardians. If they do just the minimum, that will be $38,500 a year. If they do more like the maximum, it'll be $62,000. So you get some idea of how much their donations are. Later, we're going to talk a little bit more about how much Moose Charities has given annually so far. So, good thing you're here.
yes, Bob.
I just wanted to stand up. There are a lot of people in the room who say, wow, $1,000 is a lot of money. And it is, especially for personal donation. Kathy and I set up bill pay, so it pays them $83 a month. That's $1,000 a year. We can afford the $83 a month. Okay? So any of you that want to be included and recognized for that, please consider setting up your bill pay so that a check goes to Moose International, to Moose Charities once a month, and it'll make it easy for you. Thank you.
So, and also that $1,000 is a combined household. So if, between you and your partner, you can go ahead and if you can make it work. There's also the M&M Club, which we can sign you up for. You can also sign that up on the Moose Charities website. The M&M Club will automatically take donations out. You can get it done on a credit card, you can get it done out of your checking account, but for the M&M Club, it's a minimum of $10 per month. But you can choose which way you want it out to come out. The League of Guardians is also honored at the annual convention with a special night and a special program. So hopefully they get to enjoy a wonderful night for all their giving.
Page 2. Most of us probably are aware that there's a sweepstakes that Moose Charities does twice a year. And during the sweepstakes, all you have to do is decide how many of these tickets you want to turn in. I've never won. Has anybody here ever won? Is that the point of joining the sweepstakes? Wouldn't it be fun to win? Yes. Okay. Even if you can't win, I have fun with it because when they announce the winners, I go through the list. Is it somebody I know? Are they from Michigan? If they're from Michigan, just a little bit closer. So anyway, the sweepstakes is something that you may as well pay attention to because it's kind of interesting. Now we're going to talk about the AAA project, Moose Haven. This is a pretty interesting subject that we're going to talk quite a bit about. But so far, $13,512 has been donated by our association to pay down our $100,000 pledge over 2 years. That sounds pretty good. $13,000. That represents about 13% of our $100,000. The trouble is, we've used up 30% of the time that we said that we would do to make up that $100,000. It would be far better if we were at 30% of our giving, of our pledge total, rather than 13% at 30% of the time has already expired. Now, this isn't your fault. This isn't Carolee's fault or mine or anybody on the state board. The people in here are already doing a lot. I mean, you show it by being here, by listening to well, to me anyway, not Carolee.
It's the opposite of what I'm done.
But it's important to understand that some associations are far more wealthy than others. There's 43 associations. There are big differences. 153,000 in Florida, Bermuda, 654 in Alberta, Saskatchewan. And there's a couple of others that are under 1,000 for the entire association, that'd be Quebec and British Columbia. So would you think that they therefore give that much percentage more? It's not necessarily so. Things are not always what they seem. Michigan, unfortunately, is number 40 in the list of what has been given in total giving. And we're hoping that we can make some difference in how that happens by who we're going to all talk about or talk to. There are 22 state associations that never pledged a penny. Doesn't mean they haven't given anything, but it doesn't hurt their standing when it doesn't show that they're at only 40% or 20% or 3%, or in our case 13%. We're one of the largest, one of the state associations that did pledge, and we pledged $100,000. Some of these are the latest numbers, but most of the numbers I'm going to talk to you about tonight, this morning, today, is January 31st, because that's the last that we actually have of them. Let's see. Another thing that Moose Charities sponsors is the Rudolph Run Walk. Now, they raised $77,000 by people pledging money to the runners and to the walkers. Our very own Robin McCrary, are you here? Yeah, that'd be the one. She took 8th in her division. Very good, very good. But she didn't use just the run walk pledges. She also had anybody that would autograph her jersey, $5. She raised $1,500 for Moose Charities with those things. And she was able to get some celebrities to sign it. Scott Hart, Gary Erweiler, etc. I didn't. I'm not one of the celebrities that signed it.
She'll take your money though.
But but anyway, that's to give you an idea that you can expand any program and raise more money by doing things like that. Another thing, the 19th annual Blessing of the Bikes. Now here in Michigan, it takes place at Central Michigan University. Greg McCarty has told us quite a bit about that over the years, and he said it's pretty amazing to see the smiles on all of the children's faces, since much of it is to sponsor Winter Olympics, Special Olympics in the winter. And on that note, thank us.
Like John said, we appreciate everything you guys do. The kind words, the donations, the dollars from heaven that James seems to love to do. You guys have made a huge difference in the lives of our children and seniors. And it means a lot. And we really appreciate it. And I know we're 40th, but you guys, we're number one. we're number one with our association. You guys are rock stars.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that.
Are you okay?
I am.
I'm just getting organized still. Okay, here we are. Okay. The PowerPoint. So what do we do to raise money? We know everybody here is generous. We know that that you stop at the Moose Charities table and we get pledges. We get all kinds of things. There's so many members of the donor circle or the Moose Heart Boosters or the M&M Club. Let's talk about fundraisers. Okay, so there's a few hundred people here, but there's 52,000 members in Michigan. They are not hearing this. So we need to encourage them to give. Is that the way we have to do it? Not necessarily. We can have a fundraiser where we get outside funds, not from within the organization only. Not all members have a lot of time and treasure to give. We're certainly very appreciative of the ones that do. So if you're going to do a fundraiser, this is an audience participation, you can just shout it right out. What do you think is one of the very first things you should do when you decide you're going to have a fundraiser, partially to raise money for Moose Charities?
Involve food.
Involve food. That's a good point. And most of our benefits at our lodge do involve food. Stated goals. You know, what are we here for? I have found that if you want to raise money for Moose Charities, most people from outside of the Moose organization don't really think much about Moose Charities. They don't know of Moose Charities. But if you said 80% of the money that we raise is going to go to the football team, or it's going to go to 4-H, it's going to go to the Boy Scouts, it's going to go to Big Brothers Big Sisters, and the other 20% is going to Moose Charities, then you're going to have people asking, what is Moose Charities? And you have an opportunity to talk to them about it. So by dividing it up, even a smaller amount, think of how much money that would add up to if all 80-some lodges do this a couple times a year. We have found that raffles, food, if you're going to have a fundraiser, you usually need several chairmen or people that are going to take up a particular part of it. One is somebody that's going to go get donations of donated prizes. Advertising, that's the big deal. Now, if I advertise on Facebook, we don't even have a newspaper in Munising anymore, it closed. So advertising has become very difficult. And posters, you know, you can put up so many posters. It's not a very big town, it's not that hard to do. But how do you reach the young people? Do you think that they're all on Facebook? Almost everybody I see on Facebook is, well, I'm not going to say older than me, but old enough. But they're on ones that I'm not, whether it's TikTok or, pardon me? TikTok.
Snapchat.
I'm not on TikTok.
Yeah,
Snapchat.
I'm not on Snapchat. So how do I reach them? So what we need, if at all possible, everybody's probably got a few young people in their lodge. We have to ask them, okay, here's the message. Can you put it out as a post on Snapchat? Or can you put it out as a post on TikTok? Or whatever other media that they're using. So if you have a newspaper, that's great. If you have a radio station that'll do it for free, that's great. But advertising is pretty important. If you don't have a lot of people show up for your fundraiser, it's going to be hard to get any amount of money. Let's see, involving the local groups, we already talked about that. And another thing about the local groups is they can provide manpower. Our lodge is small. We have about 150 members, of which probably 80 of them don't come by. Some of them, they got their original dues at our lodge, but they moved to Tempe, Arizona, or Capistrano, California, or something like that. So we don't see them very often. So if you can get the Boy Scouts and they're going to clean the tables, or they're going to be bringing out the food, or they're going to help set it up in the beginning, or 4-H, young people, it helps a great deal. The football team, have the football players come in and help, or the cheer team, or the robotics club. Young people are very helpful in the division of labor. Don't forget your licenses if you're getting a raffle. If you're inviting people into your lodge, don't forget your dispensation, don't forget raffle licenses. Most festivals require music, give it a thought. In food events, you need preparers, the people to order the food, the people to put the food out in front to deliver it, unless it's a buffet style, somebody to clean up stuff. I'm the dishwasher, the pearl diver in our lodge. So if you're not using paper plates, you can look at how shiny those are and you can thank me. I've also been known as a dishwasher technician and as a dinnerware refurbisher, but I prefer pearl diver. Carrie, do you have any other thoughts on what they can do for a fundraiser? Something you've done in your lodge.
You got a hand up over there. This
Yes,
is the
Kathleen.
participation part of the program.
Yes, it is.
Hi.
Right behind you.
Shut up, Jimmy.
My name is Kathy Bukovich, and I've only been back in Michigan now not even 2 years. I come from California, Nevada Association. I lived in, and we had something that would benefit every lodge, every member for Moose Charities. These little banks right here are called Bank on Our Kids. And what it is every member could get one of these banks. They throw their loose change in here. It also helps out the lodges try to get their Premier Award. And what it is they bring in their little bank. See, my name is on it, okay? And the lodge counts the money, gives the person a receipt. Also in return, they give a $3 coupon so they can use for a meal or a drink or whatever, okay, for them doing it. These little banks, I know where to get them. You guys come see me and I'll give you where to get them. This will benefit every lodge out there. And another thing we did was Moose Charities Bingo, where we did a bingo and all the money went to Moose Charities. So there are ways for you guys to really do stuff, and we did so much in California, Nevada. I can't even tell you. But like I said, see me and I'll tell you where to get these little banks. They're not that expensive to buy. And like I said, they're amazing little things to help Moose Charities out. And I was our district's Moose Charities committee member or chairperson, and I took care of that. But this was one of the ways I promoted Moose Charities too.
Now, Kathy, did you have the banks for like a whole year, just a month? How did you?
What it is the banks. Okay, you take the bank to your lodge, and then what they do is they'll count the money, and then they'll put it on the side, and you come pick it back up and refill it up.
Okay, so you ran it for the whole
We
calendar
ran
year?
it all. It's a continuous Moose Charities project, never stops.
Okay,
When the bank gets full, bring it in.
okay. That's awesome. Thank you. Sure. Okay. Well, before that though, so John had asked, like, Greenville's Lodge, one of our biggest fundraisers that we do a couple times a year is a trivia night. We have a couple come in and they run a fabulous trivia event. We have roughly 17 teams. I think there's no more than 6 people on a team, maybe 8. $5 per person. So we end up having extra staff on board to help out for the bar. It's just such a fun event, and it doesn't matter where you place, you're there for the fun. We put in, sometimes you don't know those answers, and it's just funny to hear what people write, because the couple that our hosts, they read the funny ones. They read, the outrageous. Listening to the team names, Screwballs, Hot Mess Express. That's me personally, the Hot Mess Express. That's always our team. So that's just, it's really a fun night, and they do it twice a year. John asked me to talk about Donor Circle, and
Hey, Carolee.
yeah,
Avon Rochester does have one coming up for Moose Charities, and a lot of people might be interested in this. They're calling it the throw stuff at Jimmy night. Now, years ago, they were going to do a shoot a paintball at Jimmy, and that didn't happen, thank God. So, when Avon Rochester gets the date set up, there will be a throw stuff at Jimmy night for Moose Charities. Amen.
Okay, so Donor Circle is, I don't want to call it a reward program. You set up, you can make donations on your schedule with the Donor Circle. It does go to the endowment fund. When you do sign up for Donor Circle and you hit certain levels, they send you pins as recognition. It's a little something to say thank you, but you can wear the pins with pride. And like I said, you can do that on your schedule. Do you want it as a yearly tax donation or tax write-off? You can do it that way. Did you win $50,000 in the scratch-off? There you go. You can write off it part of that. But it's on your schedule. And you can also do Donor Circle in conjunction with the M&M Club. So when you sign up for M&M, but you also get a chance to click for Donor Circle. So that $10, say you did the minimum $10 for that, you can then, it builds up and you get your first pin. Then you continue on in your second pin. Your lodge gets credit, lots of credit, in your chapter. So I don't totally understand all that. That's beyond my, but I do know that when you do that, yeah, you do get credit. Your lodge does get credit. You personally get credit, your lodge gets credit, then the state gets credit. So.
Thank you, Carolee.
I just have a quick question. So if you sign up, it all goes to the endowment fund, or does it go to other places? Like if you do the Donor Circle or the M&M Club, where does that money go?
My understanding is it goes into the endowment fund. And that,
Yeah, you can earmark that, Bank.
yeah,
You can earmark that to go to wherever you want to. The AAA endowment, but even everybody's checks or whatever, please always write down there, because when they receive checks, if they don't have down in there the earmark section anything, then they're calling you guys up saying, all right, where do you want this to go, because it didn't go proper place, and they get all kinds of calls. So please, when you do donate online or whatever, earmark it where you want it specifically to go. It could be the Moose Heart boosters, anything like that. But just earmark it where you want it to go, and they'll be happy to take your money. And also along the lines with the trip, if I may, the AAA, you guys are a group, a very fine group. You're Michigan Moose Association proud. So as they were saying about the numbers, you guys can do better than this. We can raise that up, that level up from 40th easily. Now, if it takes me wearing my watermelon hat from last night and sit down there in the table to raise money, I will. But please see the fine folks at the table and help us out by your contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. So again, as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about that right now. It's about where we are. We're 40th out of 43. We are 6th in terms of census as far as that goes. Let's see, on the endowment, I got to find my pages. But the endowment, we're actually in 13th place. In Moose Heart Boosters, 12th. On the Donor Circle, 13th place. Now, we're sixth in terms of census, the total number of the 860,000 members in the fraternity, we have 52,000. So wouldn't you think that we would be in sixth place when it comes to the endowment? And not necessarily. All the state associations are not the same, and we can't expect that they will be. But we're at $1.69 per capita. Now that's pretty low. Are we asking you to give us more? No. We're asking for more to give some. The more are the 52,000 people that aren't here. And again, we do believe this is a matter of education, not of you. You guys have heard this all before, but of the people at the lodges. And so it's very important that each lodge can somehow get a hold of us, because we've got this letter, we've got our, there's cards down at the table to show you how to get a hold of Carolee or I with emails, because that's the only way we can think of that we can reach all the lodges. So please help us to do that. How would you like to promote our table?
So every year, you know, we have the 50-50 sheets, and if you don't know that, so there's $1 a square. Once a sheet has 100 squares, once it's filled up, we do a random number generator, and you can win $50. We have information about the AAA project. We have some flyers. The flyers we have, I was able to download off of the Moose Charities website. It has a QR code. So those of you that are fancy enough and work with that, there's a QR code that will take you to another link for that. We have the graduates, keychains to support our graduates. There's 14 graduating this year. We chose to have brass keychains made to go with their luggage that they get in early part of May. These kids are going to have luggage, they're going to have apartment keys, car keys. Why not give them something special? Those are $50, a sponsorship for $50 per keychain. We're having a little card where they will have your information with the hopes of thanking you, and you can take their senior picture home with you. Sean gave us the great idea for this puzzle. John put the puzzle together because I hate puzzles, and for $5, okay, so John put the puzzle together. We took 5 pieces out. We have a second puzzle, the pieces in a jug. For $5, you get a chance to win $100. You pull random piece out, and if it fits in the puzzle, you win $100. Sherry did it first time. First customer, first piece she picks, they're gone.
It fit?
It did. So we're hoping to raise $1,000 with that. $5 a piece, 300-piece puzzle, paying out $100 5 times. So it's just game and chance, and we hope you will think about it and come down and try to win. We have Roosevelt, the big cuddly Roosevelt. He's the UP's Moose of the Year, and 6 years running. And he's looking for a new home. Tickets are $1 a piece, or 6 for $5. All this money is going to go to Moose Charities. We're going to do the drawing for Roosevelt this afternoon. The sheets, I keep a running list, try to get everybody in their money. If anybody knows Tracy Lima, come downstairs because I have some money for her. Did I get it? Oh, you can be a donor diva or a donor dude. I inherited these from Pam Johnson, and they're really cute. So for $5 donation, you can become a donor dude or a donor diva and wear it proudly. I think.
I'd like to say I'm a donor dude, not a donor diva. Might be easy to.
Oh no, John, you're a diva.
And I have a strong feminine side, but it's not that strong.
When I talk about little Johnny, that's little Johnny.
A final word on the puzzle. Somebody bought me a 1,000-piece puzzle with moose on it. I got the perimeter put together. It took 2 weeks. And I went and bought a 300-piece puzzle. That I was able to put together, but I have to admit my daughter put probably the last 100 pieces in it. So thank you so very much. And again, if you could take anything from here, we're looking for Moose Charities helpers. We don't want the administrator or the president of your lodge to have more to do. Find somebody that goes to the lodge regularly, and we can have their email address. They're not a chairman, they're a helper. Thanks so very much.
Alrighty, on that note, Jill is in the back of the room hoping to accept all final donations for this weekend. If you have already turned in $250 in charities, please make your way to her eventually before the 3 o'clock session. And she has a card for you for the March of Checks. If you want to do the March of Checks, it's going to be a little more abbreviated this year. We're just going to announce the total instead of all the numbers, so it only takes 10 minutes instead of a half hour. But please, see her so she can wrap up her books for the weekend. And, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, and we still have some 50/50s from yesterday we'll highlight too. Nice job, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Sean, did you ask about that key fob?
Oh, yeah, might as well announce that too. If anybody is missing half of their key fob for their car, we have your battery in the back cover. You've got the front parts attached to your key still, I'm guessing. It is a Ford. If you are looking for it, they have it over at the AV table.
Yeah, we found that someone must have just checked in. Joyce probably. Let me take care of that. Somebody finds it.
Yeah.
It's no good otherwise.
I'm also going to make a shot in the dark and open this up for Moose Charities. For those of you who were fun night last night, did you have fun with the Moose Feud?
Yeah.
I have a copy of 2 different Moose Feuds over at the table. I printed